please stand or remain standing and remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem and invocation. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Whoa, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hello, class of 2026. Tanzila and I are honored to welcome you today as we celebrate our class's remarkable achievements. Before I begin, I'd like to thank my parents, Stacia and Lonnie Supnick, for their unwavering support and trust. It is because of you both that I am able to stand on this stage and celebrate with you all. Today, Tanzila and I stand before you as classmates and friends, united in gratitude for the wisdom our religious communities have given us. As we begin this ceremony, we hope to honor the values of faith, service, and purpose that have guided us here and that will carry us forward. With that, we invite you all to briefly engage with us in spiritual reflection. In the Jewish tradition, asking questions is not only allowed but encouraged. Questioning customs and religious teachings is considered a holy way to engage with our faith. Just because things are sacred does not mean that we have forfeited the right to think critically for ourselves. It is a religious duty for parents to teach their children how to inquire. On the holiday Passover, the youngest in the family asks the Seder table 4 questions to prompt the retelling of the Israelites' exodus from Egypt. The child questions why we have such peculiar customs as eating bitter herbs and avoiding leavened bread. Judaism does not take refuge in dogmatism. We learn at a young age that questioning is a stepping stone to becoming a lifelong learner. And yet, not all inquiries are welcome. The 4th question asked on Passover is marked with a tone of hostility and detachment. The child asks, "Why do you all do these rituals?" By excluding himself from the rest of the table, he undermines the foundation of community on this high holiday. This moment in the Haggadah teaches us that an invalid question is defined by its inflection and intent rather than its substance. Questions veiled as accusations or comments designed to corner your conversation partner are not genuine questions, because no search for truth can advance far without empathy. But any question that is asked with respect and the intent to learn deserves to be addressed, including challenges. In the yeshiva, which is the home of traditional Talmudic learning, the highest compliment a teacher can give a student is, "You raise a good objection." At CMC, we have certainly learned how to raise good objections. We learned how to ask incisive questions, engage with greater curiosity, raise respectful criticisms, be open to differences, and to listen. We see CMC's love for questions all over. At the Ath, we have nearly as much time to question the speaker as to hear them speak. Our classes are structured the same way. Small seminars instead of big lectures designed to allow students to speak up and challenge one another with respect, rigor, and competence. I still remember the first question I asked in a college classroom. It was my very first day in my freshman humanities seminar with philosophy professor Paul Hurley, who's on this stage today. He introduced us to different ways of thinking about right and wrong, using the example of someone accidentally pushing a stranger out of a window. It did not end well. He said that intention mattered in deciding this person's punishment. I was a bit skeptical, so I raised my hand and asked, does it really matter that it was an accident? This person dies in the end. He looked at me and said, that's actually called consequentialism, and I wrote a whole book arguing against it, but thanks for asking, and we'll get into that later this semester. I still laugh about that moment, but it was the beginning of 4 years defined by the relentless pursuit of understanding. To query and debate drives our education and deepens the connections between us. CMC gives us an intuitive awareness that asking a good question is already half of the answer, and that growth is a function of constantly re-examining accepted truths. So in the spirit of asking questions, I invite you to join me in reflecting on 3 questions inspired by Rabbi Hillel's most famous teachings as we enter this ceremony and the next stage of our lives. 1. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? Many of us have struggled with imposter syndrome, whether in the classroom, scrolling on LinkedIn, looking at our classmates' updates, or even at our summer internships. It's hard to have confidence sometimes, but we must start by believing in ourselves if we wish for others to do the same. 2, but if I am only for myself, then what am I? Our community gives us purpose and meaning. Only by getting outside ourselves can we find ourselves. As we graduate, let us be aware of the vast web of support and love that will never abandon us, and thank them. And finally, if not now, then when? There are a vast number of intelligent people in the world, but never enough good people who choose to do the right thing right now. CMC has taught us how to identify the world's problems and create innovative solutions. It is our responsibility as we enter the global stage to choose to act on them. Now I invite Tanzila to offer a personal reflection inspired by the Quran and her own experience at CMC. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate your reminder of one of the cornerstones of CMC, really asking those difficult questions and honing into our commitment to intellectualism. Before I begin, I would like to thank my parents, Kamrun and Mohammed, and my amazing siblings, Tamid, Janat, and Sanjida. Next, thank you to Professors Bassam Frangier, Jennifer Ta, and Asima Sinha for making my academic journey successful and meaningful. Lastly, my deepest gratitude to my closest friends. Thank you all for encouraging me to strive for excellence. In the Abrahamic traditions, we often hear the story of Prophet Joseph and the betrayal of his brothers. He was thrown into the well and sold into slavery. He was forced to navigate a realm where he was unfamiliar with the jurisdiction and the customs. His journey was undoubtedly difficult, yet he prevailed as the chief minister of Egypt. But what struck with me the most from his story was actually the perspective of his father, Prophet Jacob. While Prophet Joseph was on his divine journey, Prophet Jacob deeply grieved the loss of his favorite son. His sorrow was relentless, and he would constantly pray to the Lord and actually became weak-sighted from the tears alone. But more importantly, he held steadfast to his faith that one day he will be reunited with his favorite son. And during their eventual reunion, Prophet Jacob described enduring what the Quran calls sabrun jamila, or beautiful patience. Beautiful patience is the strongest form of endurance. It is done without anger, anxiety, or complaint. It is with the utmost trust in God's divine wisdom. And to be honest, I didn't really understand this concept until I left home. When I left Atlanta, I didn't just leave the physical location. I left the people who meant the most to me, my family. Only after I departed did I realize that practicing beautiful patience is not just about facing hardships. It was recognizing that within them, there were quiet sacrifices that allow me to grow. It is the patience of parents who send their children thousands of miles away to chase dreams that they may not fully see yet. It is their faith in our ambitions that makes the sacrifice of not seeing us every day worthwhile. And it is their support that carries us into this next chapter of our lives. So, thank you, parents, for having beautiful patience and taking that leap of faith. And for that, we are truly grateful. But we students also practice beautiful patience ourselves too. Thrown into the uncertainty of college, we navigated a struggle. Maybe an exam didn't go our way, or maybe we didn't get into that extracurricular club, or maybe we questioned whether we belonged here at all. A particular moment for me was after the fall of my sophomore year. I faced a huge academic setback. I remember working so hard that semester. I followed the script. I overloaded, I went to office hours, and I made time for all my extracurriculars and social life, and I thought I had done everything right. But despite all of my efforts, I couldn't match my expectations. So I turned to what was right in front of me. You all, my CMC community. It was the conversations at the hub, the AF dinners, the meaningful office hours, and a personal shout out to Professor Frangier's Arabic parties that helped me so much during this difficult time. And through it, we became a stronger, kinder, a more compassionate version of ourselves. And somewhere along our journey of uncertainty, we found a new home here. The one stranger sitting beside you, or the people who bought you soup when you were sick, the ones you went on fun adventures with, the ones who celebrated your victories and stuck with you through your toughest days. These people, they became your family. So today, I invite you to look around at this moment of joyous reflection and realize that today is not a reunion with just one family, but two. The ones who raised us and the ones we found here. Our years here were not always easy, and I can attest mine definitely were not, but through Sabr and Jamila, we arrived at this moment together. And if there's one thing I could emphasize about this journey, it's that beautiful patience doesn't remove hardship from our lives. It transforms that hardship into the soil where we grow. So, thank you, class of 2026, for the last 4 phenomenal years, and congratulations for entering this new chapter of life. Now please help me give a warm welcome to Dean Ketels to the podium for our college song.
Well done. Hi, it's time for some singing together. Can I alert you to page 48 of your program where you'll find the lyrics to our school song. Graduates, I need you to lead the charge here. I'll know it if you're not singing. Faculty too. Page 48, and I'll just refer you to the phrase, crescit cum commercio civitas. Okay, let's do this. We're the sons and the daughters of Claremont McKenna, and proud of our famed alma mater, with friends of our youth, seeking wisdom, seeking truth, we will lead on from Claremont McKenna. We have crescit cum commercio civitas as our motto at Claremont McKenna. We always will be part of dear old CMC, ever loyal to Claremont McKenna. Well done, everyone. It's now my honor to give the podium to our president, Hiram Chodosh.
Greetings to you all. What a beautiful, moving day. To our generous trustees and alumni, path-breaking liberal arts faculty, tireless staff, loving family, close friends, and exemplary leaders of the next great generation, our graduating class of 2026. Many congratulations to you all. Friends, through the fumes of LA traffic, the frantic search for parking, the rush to save seats, can we settle into the moment? Can we hear it this afternoon? The cheers for our CMS National Championship men's golf team. Class of 26, can we hear Ava's voice of an angel? A siren's call to renew our national vows, fulfill our covenant with the future, reissue the 250-year-old promissory note of our Declaration of Independence. Can we hear Ellen's chorus in the CMC thesis, the exchange, the commercio, through which we build our community, our civilization, our civitas? Can we hear the invocation in Tanzila's beautiful patience, in the reunion of our many families? Rachel's questions that integrate our individual and collective growth and purpose to take on the future, and love and strong friendship in one another. Can we hear the abrupt syncopation of Tendai's journey from Harare, Zimbabwe to South Quad? The exclamation points in Chloe's call to active purpose, the barrier-breaking harmony of Akshata and Rishi's exemplary leadership, a fusion of brilliance, a fusion of parallel brilliance, love, and service to lift our civilization. Can we hear the hop in our steps, the sobs in our chest, the swish of Theo's tail, the stories we center and spin from the wet clay of human experience today, the lessons we learn to frame and answer the most open, wicked, promising questions. Graduates, can you see the moment? Look around. Look to your amazing parents and families. You are the product of their unconditional love and highest expectations. The rides, the comfort food, the constant worries and nagging questions. It's time to get up. How did you do on that test? Clean your room. Text me when you get there. The pride. I love the hustle. I love your friends. I love you. Let's give your families stand up and be celebrated today. Let's stand and be celebrated. Graduates, look to your phenomenal faculty, the big questions that changed your life, the domination and love of the problem, the ability to see, challenge, and grow the best in you. Let's have our faculty stand up to be recognized. Graduates, look to your selfless staff and mentors. You have leaned on them for counseling, networking, cleaning, feeding. They have unleashed in you the capabilities and confidence you thought you lacked. For all the staff here, please stand and be celebrated. Graduates, look to your Board of Trustees, a college best run to help you race ahead. Mission laser-focused, capital raised, dynamic programs launched, iconic facilities built, courageous zigs when the world zags, all in support, proof of the possible, top of our game. Let's have the trustees stand up to be recognized. Graduates, look around to the special spaces and programs you call home. The Ath, the Hub, Collins, CARE, Green Beach, the Saul Center, Roberts Pavilion, now the Robert Day Sciences Center. As I said before, the social stairs may be named for us, but they are for you to ascend. Look to our founders, a Claremont College built nearly 80 years ago, from an Oxford-inspired plan, stalled by depression and war on a plowed rocky grove with $80,000 on the wave of the GI Bill. 86 students, 83 of them vets from World War II. After a life on pause to face down evil, they seized a dream here, a dream deferred to become someone, somebody, something. Graduates, now look to each other. In mutual support, you have torqued back, gathered the inner strength to pole vault over the bar of the world's constrained expectations, the imposter syndromes, the internalized educational prejudices, the emotional challenges, the barriers of limited resources, experience, and social capital. You've crushed them into dust. New fuel for your self-discovered superpowers. And now look within. Close your eyes just for a second. Let the memories flash beneath the blanket of your eyelids. Why you came here, the special moments in your life, the poignant disappointment, the lacrosse ball clanging off the post, the jubilant win when it's in the back of the net, the heavy heartbreak, the friendship, and the pure fun, the quiet, touching times, the big moving moments, the pivots to turn your own victories into support for others. This is not only about how you got into CMC. This is not only about the required work you did to now pass out of it. This is about how CMC got into you, the drive in your step across this stage into the arenas that now call for you. Graduates, when we wake up from this dreamy day, look beyond the obvious. Skate not just to where the puck is headed, skate to where you want the game to go. Look north to the mountains, confront the cold face, see the high summits, put your eye on your chosen star above the bald horizon. Look up to the sky above. No cloud can make it fall. See through the sun. Build the rockets you want to ride, the life and world you want to create. Friends, all of us, when we watch our graduates cross the stage today, can we see what they each teach us? Not just the majors and thesis and honors, the objective accomplishments, bullets on the CV, the resume moments, not just what we can list easily and count. Can we also celebrate what really matters, what really counts? What David Brooks calls the eulogy moments, the stories that shape our graduates through which they shape us. When students write to me, everyone, or come over to my office or to our house, they hardly ever share the resume moments. They don't brag about the national and world championships, the awards, the great jobs, the college rankings. Sure, they often seek help about the best way to pursue their dreams, but more often, students share the moments that mean the most to them, that mean the most to me, the stories that explain and teach what really drives meaningful success. They tell me about leadership as more than just a title. It's the little things we learn from Kylie Tevis and Desiree Galamgam: open ear, generous heart, warm shoulder, spontaneous hug, small acts of kindness that create the banality of good. The power of small gifts. Freshman year, Lavi Raju, homesick, missed her mom in the Chicago fall. A little while later, a knock on the door, her first-year guide with a gift from her mom in New Hampshire. The antidote? A small bag of red, brown, and yellow fall leaves. One is still pinned to Lavi's wall, a leaf that inspires her to serve and fix broken lives. Moments of integrity. Four-string quarterback Peter Boehm worked so hard to earn a starting position in his sophomore year. The offer came, a dream. His dad would be so proud. Peter declined. He wasn't ready. Needed more time to learn the plays before taking on that awesome responsibility. Pure courage. A story of responsible leadership told and retold to imprint the lesson on others. The unquenchable thirst for tough questions. Sophomore year, first philosophy class. Brianna Toole, the professor, asks, "What constitutes a just political system?" A thought so big it nearly paralyzed Elizabeth Barry. But the next class she strived to answer, and every class after that, she wants to ask the big questions, a key driver in her personal professional success. Discipline. Riley Capuano didn't even run competitively in high school. Now here with a coach who believed in her, cross-country, 3-time All-American, CMS record holder in the 1,500 meters, 4 minutes, 23 seconds of pure grit. In her NCAA leadership immersion program, she seeks to impart that grit to those who run in her tracks. The gift of gifts. This is not the accomplishment of finding the gifts, not only finding the gifts within, it's our graduates giving them to others. Louis Lehman, stricken with addiction, turns his life around, then circles to others to create a powerful Claremont peer group support program. In these moments, big and small, our graduates unleash the underdog in themselves, in others, in all of us. These innumerable stories move me. They tell me why I am here, why we are here. They remind me of my own journey, my struggles with learning, how I grew to focus on helping others tear down their barriers. Growing up at first, I was really bad at learning what I wanted to do. I forgot my lines in my 3rd grade play. I only managed to hit 1 foul ball in my first 9 at-bats in Little League. I was really bored from 4th to 11th grade and fell objectively well behind, especially in reading and writing. My brother Jim woke me up at 16 as my own Wizard of Oz. He saw in me the learning capabilities that I thought I lacked, and I went on a wild tear. And all the time, during that early period, I never thought about putting that to use for others. But then at 18, after a gap year, right before college, I got a call from my public school high school principal. "Hiram," he explained, "the remedial math teacher is sick. We need someone to pick up her class for the freshman who failed." He was desperate. I agreed. I entered. I read the grade sheets, D's and F's, the lesson plan, dividing fractions. Why were they failing, I wanted to know. I watched one student work a problem. He got stuck. "What is 4 times 6, I asked. He stared back. I soon realized that he and most of his classmates could not multiply. So I taught them how to multiply, how to divide, about fractions, and only then how to divide them. The inspiring inflection points in our lives, from Riley's winning race to Louie's group therapy, help reteach me why I've been in the classroom, in and around the classroom for 45 years. You see, these stories are really one. It's not just our love of the underdog. It's not Rocky or Rudy or Hoosiers and then end of the movie. It's, yes, the story of outsiders, believers, first in their families, personal challenges, self-doubts, failures, moments of crisis, illness, tragedy, and it's the story of how our students, how our graduates today draw on their own lessons to change the world around them. It's Lincoln and Mandela. It's Einstein and Hawking. It's Gandhi and Malala. Here at CMC, it's each of the students who walk across the stage today. It's Johnson Sager and Eisenman. It's Fernandez and Thuresson. It's Jang and McElroy. It's Jahar and Supnick. It's Inoue and Muhammad. I could go on. It's not just Churchill's famous commencement speech in wartime. Never give in. Never, never, never in nothing. Never yield to the apparent overwhelming might of the enemy. Our graduates teach us more. No matter what the world throws at them, a polarizing polity, protracted wars, a hotter planet, a K-shaped economy, a tough AI-confused job market, our graduates never give up on themselves, on each other, on us, on our shared future. They build their own story, their own version of David's victory over Goliath, and then teach us how to follow their example. The beautiful patience and perseverance through persistent challenges, the hard questions and creative responses to improbable aspirations. Our graduates model and move others to do the same. Not an endpoint of celebratory victory over an enemy, but a humble superpower of helping others in distress. Our graduates give David's slingshot to those around them to help them slay their own challenges. Our graduates unleash the underdog in all of us. This is the CMC that got into them, the CMC they take across the stage today. Now, for one individual in particular, our next speaker, Tendai Nyamuronda. This stage must have felt an entire world away 4 years ago. It was. Sadly, his parents could not obtain a visa to travel here today to see him speak. But as Kylie has said, at CMC we show up in the moments that matter most. So today, Tendai, we've helped your uncle and cousin come in from Canada and Indianapolis. And even though your parents are not here in person, we are thrilled to say that they are joining us They're joining us all the way from Zimbabwe to witness your achievement, celebrate this special moment with you. So everyone, let's take a beat to recognize and welcome on the screen the Nyamuronda family, Tendai's parents, uncles, aunts, cousins, and loved ones joining us from Zimbabwe. To all of you there, it's so wonderful to see you. We're honored to have you with us to celebrate. So now, please join me in welcoming your outstanding class of 2026 student speaker, Tendai Nyamuronda.
Thank you so much, President Chodosh, for the introduction. Distinguished guests, friends, and families, first and foremost, I want to express my deepest gratitude to the class of 2026 for affording me this opportunity to stand before you today and speak on their behalf. It is not only a privilege, but I am deeply humbled to represent such an incredible and talented group of people today. And to my family, thank you for always being my firm foundation, for believing in me, for supporting me in everything that I set out to do. I would not be half the person I am today if it wasn't for you. I love you all very much. Three is a very important number because it plays a significant role in how we as humans understand the world. For example, we understand ourselves by often distinguishing between the mind, the body, and soul. And we also understand time by distinguishing between the past, the present, and the future. And you also hear people saying most of the times, the third time's the charm. And for me, unfortunately, 3 holds a different meaning because that was the number of times I removed CMC from my college list. I wasn't being indecisive, I was just being thorough. And now I know all of you are very curious to ask then, why am I here? And to be honest, I think that's probably a question for the admissions team because I have no idea. But I think a more pertinent question to ask today is not why am I here, but how did we get here? And that is the question I am going to answer today. For the first couple of weeks when I arrived on campus, I struggled to find my place, not knowing whether I would fully fit in or belong in this space that was foreign to me. And that coupled with homesickness, I ended up doing what I thought best. I withdrew. I tried to hide, hoping that no one would notice that I was still trying to figure out who I was in this place. And in that hiding, it became easy for me to miss what was right in front of me. But somewhere along the way, I met you. You, the one sitting in front of me today. And that's when I realized that CMC was more than just a place of transition. It was a place where I could create my new home. And slowly, it became one. To understand why that mattered so deeply to me, as a Zimbabwean, I come from a culture that deeply values collective success. And from a young age, I was taught that no one can ever truly thrive alone. We grow, succeed, and find purpose through our connections with one another. And that is the concept of Hunu or Ubuntu, which embodies the aspect of I am because we are. And if I am because we are, then who we all became during our time here at CMC was as a result of each and every individual in our community. And that interconnectedness we had made us feel the excitement of our shared achievements and the weight of our challenges. Because in this 4-year journey, there were moments we were beaten down more times than we can count, moments where getting back up felt impossible, but we did. Every single time we did. We got back up because somewhere in this crowd, there was always someone who believed in us before we believed in ourselves. And in those quiet moments when everything felt uncertain, there was always that small, steady voice from behind us, gently edging us on, whispering, Shinga mwanangu, tu puedes, mija. You've got this, my dear. And somehow that was enough to keep going. And through all of that, without fully realizing it, we ended up building something special. We built a home for all of us with our diverse identities, cultures, and experiences, where we came together like differently colored threads, beautifully woven into a unique fabric that is our community. A home not in the residential domes, but a home within each other. And because of that, we've come to know one another in ways that no one else ever will. But the unfortunate truth is, we don't always realize what we've built until it is no longer within reach. Until we find ourselves homesick, not for a place, but for the people who made space for us in every version of ourselves, for the people who showed up for us, who saw us at our best and at our worst and decided to stay anyway. And one day, we are going to look back and realize just how rare that was. So now if you're to ask again, how did we get here? The answer is all around us. It's the people. Therefore, today we are not only celebrating the degrees we've earned, but the beauty of the impact that CMC has had on us and the one that we leave behind. Because graduation isn't just about what we've achieved, it's about who we became along the way. It's about the version of ourselves that first set foot on campus and the one that now stands here ready to leave. And maybe this experience, what made it matter the most, isn't something physical that we can hold or point to. It's those small pieces of ourselves that we left in each other, in the people that we loved and deeply cared for. Those pieces do not disappear when we walk across this stage. They are forever imprinted in our souls. They are going to travel with us each and every time after we leave CMC. They will echo. And long after today is those echoes that will return to us, playing softly in our hearts and minds, and we'll find ourselves here again, walking this journey together with all of us. So, class of 2026, no matter where we all end up, let us hold on to this something deeper. And above all, let us strive to have lasting fruits, that what we build, the homes in each other, what we give, the pieces of ourselves that we leave in others, and who we become will outlive us and bless generations to come. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. At this point in time, allow me to invite over to the stage our lovely and amazing Senior Class President, Chloe Ross.
Oh my gosh, I can't go after that. Hello, class of 2026. Little less than 4 years ago, we were standing on this campus for the first time. Everything felt new and a little uncertain. And now, somehow, that uncertainty has been replaced by something much harder to define. It lives in the late nights at Papa, and the relationships we've built without realizing it, and the conversations outside the hub that lasted a little too long. The impact wasn't always visible, but it's there. It shaped how we think, how we listen, and how we show up for each other in ways that are easy to overlook until we've been asked to leave it behind. And now, in these final days, we're packing up our senior apartments, saying our final goodbyes, and trying to make sense of how quickly something unfamiliar became something essential. There's a tension in this moment between knowing we're ready and realizing how much we still have left to figure out. But if there's one thing this community has given us, it's the confidence to step forward anyways, with curiosity, with courage, and with a sense of responsibility for the world we're about to enter, and most importantly, the knowledge that we're stepping into it together. Today, we have the privilege of hearing from two individuals whose lives reflect that same sense of purpose, leaders who have not only navigated moments of uncertainty and change, but have worked to expand opportunity for others along the way. Today, we are honored to celebrate this moment with Akshata Murty and Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak served as the 57th Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 2022 to 2024, the first person of British Asian descent to lead the government and one of the youngest people to do so. He guided the country through a period of change and helped position it as a global leader in emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence. Akshata Murty has been a dedicated leader in education and philanthropy, launching initiatives such as Lessons at 10 to bring learning to life for students and supporting entrepreneurs, the arts and sciences, and a wide range of social impact efforts. The two actually met at Stanford as students, and together they co-founded the Richmond Project, focused on breaking down barriers to numeracy and building confidence in the skills that drive innovation and social mobility. Their impact is obviously also deeply felt here at CMC. Through the support of the Quantitative and Computing Lab, their role in establishing an endowed philosophy professorship in PPE that expanded the program's reach, and their broader investment in programs that shape the academic experience for generations of students to come. In many ways, their work reflects the kind of impact we hope to carry forward, using what we have learned not only to navigate the world ahead, but to leave it better than we found it. That is the charge this moment carries, and as we step into it, we are reminded that purpose isn't something we find after graduation, it's something we choose to act on starting now. Please join me in welcoming Akshata Murty, Claremont McKenna class of 2002 and co-founder of the Richmond Project, and the Right Honorable Rishi Sunak, Member of Parliament and former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Chloe, thank you for that very kind introduction. I think listening to you, I can confidently declare that the class of 2026 is ready to step out into the world. You spoke with eloquence and passion for a group that understands its responsibilities and knows that it's good that it wants to do. So if I could ask everyone to please join me in congratulating and thanking Class President Chloe Ross for her stirring words. Now, we were on a family ski trip last month, and I decided to show my two teenage daughters that I was still the best skier in the family. And unfortunately, these crutches are the result. So bear with me. But I did, in the process, teach our two girls three very valuable lessons. First, that pride comes before a fall. Next, that age and wisdom are not the same thing. And that there is no more dangerous phrase in the English language than, "Watch this, girls." Now, I didn't go to CMC, but I did study PPE at Oxford, so I hope you'll accept me as an honorary member of your community today. Now, my connection to this place, of course, comes through the woman that I'm blessed to call my wife, Akshata Murty. Akshata both loves me and challenges me, and I certainly could not have got through the last 20 years without her. And when I look out at this audience, I'm acutely conscious that I am closer in age to the parents than I am to the class of 2026. And I can't help but imagine how I will be feeling when it comes to our daughter's college graduation, which at this point is only 7 years away. And I know the sacrifices that all your parents have made to get you here today, the love that they have poured into you. I've had a few big jobs in my time, but there is no job more important or more demanding than being a parent. So can I ask the class of 2026 to join with me in applauding the people who have always believed in you, the people who first sparked that love of learning in you, your parents and your families. Parents, congratulations on getting them to graduation. Today is truly a great day for your family and an even better one for your bank account. Now, I first came to this beautiful campus in 2009 with Akshata. It was really wonderful to visit a place that had been such a formative part of her life. As we walked around, I understood why this institution holds such a special place in her heart. This college, a 20-hour flight from her home in Bangalore in southern India, was where she had thought through her course in life, decided what mattered to her, and what she would bring to the world. Class of 26, today is the day that you move from university to the next chapter of your life, your professional career. You are college graduates today, but you will always be a CMC alum. And I know that these are uncertain times in which to leave this tranquil seat of learning. There are wars raging in Europe and the Middle East. Domestic politics everywhere can too often feel like a battleground. And there is profound uncertainty about what AI means for jobs. But your education here at CMC has set you up as well as anybody for the challenges of today's world. A liberal arts education is the best preparation for an AI-infused world where judgment, reasoning, and human communication matter more than they ever have. AI will transform our world. But what AI will not be able to do is automate the why. It can tell you how something happens, but it will find it much more difficult to do what you have been taught to do. Explain why it has happened. It will never have your soul. And what the world needs now is people who are intellectually rigorous, who ask the right questions, who can think broadly. And that is what CMC has prepared you to do. Now, CMC has also taught you to engage with ideas, not protected you from them. The best way to defeat a bad argument is in open debate, and that is what you have learned to do here. And it has also made you realize that the privilege of this education comes with a duty to be a responsible leader who serves something greater than just themselves. In these challenging times, we need leaders who understand this. That is how we will rebuild trust in our institutions. Now, I see all these qualities in Akshata every day. The intellectual curiosity that was fueled by those talks at the Athenaeum, by the liberal arts curriculum here, by the belief in the importance of open-minded debate, and indeed, that desire to leave the world a better place. So let me hand over to the CMC alum, the girl who left her own country to come here at 18, the student who got ponded, and the young woman who graduated from this institution nearly 25 years ago today, but still holds it so close to her heart. Please join me in welcoming to the podium CMC trustee and 2002 graduate, Akshata Murty.
Thank you, Rishi. Now, you may not have gone to CMC, but I think he did a pretty good job explaining what we're all about. And thank you, President Chodosh, and the entire CMC community for giving this alumna the honor of being here today to join all of you. Thank you. Now, I grew up in a very academic household in India. Most of my family are doctors, scientists, and engineers. And that was compounded by a highly STEM-focused education system, which was the way in India at the time. It was wonderful, but coming to CMC meant I got to immerse myself in the liberal arts, as well as the science and the maths. Those are important. The liberal arts, broader and more intuitive, but no less focused and disciplined. It was a revelation to me, and I completely and utterly loved it. We all know that CMC's mission is to prepare students for thoughtful and productive lives, and also to be responsible leaders. What I admire most about the education here is that studying the liberal arts won't just have made you a more rounded individual by broadening your understanding of the outside world, It will have broadened your understanding of your internal world, of yourself as well. I think it's that special combination of the two that enables one to become a more responsible leader. Now, whether it was Econ 50, Gov 20, or Phil 90, as they were all known in my day, or more recently, the Freshman Humanities Seminar, I'm sure you'll all have read widely, discussed deeply, and possibly had mixed feelings about how many papers you've had to write. I still draw on what I learned in all the courses I studied here. But there is one course in particular that has stayed with me even after all these years. And just a reminder, class of 26, you guys weren't even born when I graduated. So the course that has stayed with me and has changed my life is called The Theories of the Good Life. I believe it was called Phil 52 at the time. And it was taught by Professor Steve Smith. And it explored the philosophy of fully becoming you. Now, by some force of destiny, I had the chance to reconnect with Professor Smith in late April at the recently held CMC Summit. I'd already gone through what I was going to say today before I even knew he was going to be there. So meeting him again at that moment, after such a long time, felt like it was meant to be. I hope I do him justice today with my words, especially because he's here in the audience. Okay, so back to my senior year, spring semester 2002. I naively chose to take this course, partially because I saw the title, Theories of a Good Life, who doesn't want to live a good life? And it was followed very quickly by some typical CMC behavior. That sounds like an easy A. And one last opportunity to max out the GPA maxing, I think you guys would call it. But what I didn't realize was, at the time, young and naive as I was, that the things that I learned on this course would become an essential part of how I would live my life. Not necessarily at the shiny, more traditionally successful moments, although it's helped in those too, but in the underappreciated moments, the non-resume moments, let's call them, the moments that sit between the lines of achievement, unseen and immeasurable, but just as profound. So from 25 years down the line, I'd like to share 3 wise words that I learned on this course with Professor Smith, in the hope that they will serve you just as well as they've served me. The first word is balance. Back in the fall of 2022, moving into number 10 Downing Street was an extraordinary honor and privilege for our family. Rishi was the UK's first British Asian Prime Minister, the youngest in 200 plus years. It was a fast climb to the position, and both Rishi and I felt incredibly honored to have a chance to serve the UK, each in our own way. Our friends and family, of course, remarked at these achievements and marveled at the shiny resume moments of it all. Of course, we had some incredible experiences and met some fascinating people. But it wasn't so much in the living at number 10 as much as it was in the leaving of number 10 Downing Street that shaped me the most. On our final morning there, having just lost the election, heading out of that big black door with the press waiting outside, it felt overwhelming. It was one of those non-resume moments. And then one of the texts that we had studied during the Good Life course came to mind. And it was about Lord Buddha and his teaching about the middle way. The idea originates from the Buddha's own life experience, in which he observed that the extremes of achievement or failure, indulgence or abstinence, dukkha or sukha, Sanskrit for sadness and joy. They don't bring fulfillment. One day, the Buddha heard a musician say, "A lute string tuned too tight will snap. Too loose, and it won't play." The path lay in between. Engaged, but not overtly attached. Disciplined, but not tormented. Aware, but not anxious. It's not indifference, it's balance. Everyone, all of us, have already faced ups and downs, highs and lows, what I call imbalance in our lives. You're not going to be able to control that. What you can control, however, is how you respond. So in that moment, by focusing on our duty and our shared respect for public service, and not to forget on the enormous privilege of having had that whole experience, I was able to temper my emotions and focus on that balance. It meant I was able to engage with the people around us who had been so supportive throughout and turn my face to the wind. Yes, it was a humbling experience, but thanks to the grounding I've had here at CMC, I could face it. And as that door closed to one chapter in our lives, another opened to a whole new adventure. Which leads me to my second word from the course, introspection. In the aftermath of leaving Downing Street, there was a quietness I hadn't felt in a few years. I was still busy, but it wasn't all-consuming. It was another type of non-resume moment. I started to focus on things that I hadn't thought about for a few years. What drives me? For what purpose? And where do I belong? I started reading, reflecting, and like a lot of you here, having long, free-flowing discussions. I came back to the course, The Theories of the Good Life, and I remembered a text we'd read by David Keirsey. It was called Please Understand Me, in which the author prompts you to self-reflect to find meaning. I started to reflect on my life and on what genuinely moves me. I thought a lot about the UK as my home, a place that has shaped some of the most significant experiences of my life. I thought about India, my birthplace, where I grew up, a country whose heritage is deeply embedded within me. That led me to think about the relationship between these two wonderful homes of mine, these two nations. And slowly, I started to reconnect with my whole self. What's interesting is that in that process, the unexpected happened, and the seed of an idea was sown. I found, for one, that I'm someone driven by meaning and a desire to connect people across divides. I didn't fully understand all that at 21, but 25 years later, I find myself playing a small role in bolstering the connection between India and the UK, using art, culture, and education, and bringing young people together. So it turns out Professor Smith's course didn't just teach me about the good life, it helped me find my way to mine. It's very hard to be introspective when you're chasing that next step on the career ladder. Often it takes a moment of quiet to listen to what you're really telling yourself, how you really feel about something, and whether you're truly aligned with what you hold dear. Now, some people may say that's self-indulgent. The reality is, it's anything but. Because the greater your skill at tuning into yourself honestly, the more you have to offer others. There's a theory at the moment that moving fast and forward is all that matters. I wholeheartedly disagree. Not that pace and progress aren't important, of course, but because 25 years ago, in a classroom not far from where we're all sitting today, a remarkable teacher asked a group of 21-year-olds to come together and to stop and look inwards and to question who they really are. And that single act of structured introspection changed the course of my life. And I bet it had a similar effect on a number of my classmates as well. The unexamined life, to me, is not just less productive. It's less human, it's less responsible, and it's less fulfilling. It's also prone to catastrophic mistakes. Mistakes that won't just harm you, or those around you, or those close to you. Mistakes that could sometimes harm the whole of society. You are graduating into a world that will reward you handsomely for moving fast. My invitation to all of you today is this: move forward, yes, but keep seeking to know yourself as you go. Which leads me to my third and final word: community. There's a trap that comes with some routes to success. To get the great job, to get the good grades, you have to put your head down and throw yourself into it. Of course you do. And the more successful you are, the higher up you go. But all of it can become quite limiting. And limiting in ways that mean we lose sight of who we are and our responsibility to others. You're all very familiar with Crescit cum commercio civitas. But today I want to talk to all of you about serving your community, and that too from a personal perspective. I couldn't believe that on the Theories of the Good Life course, we were offered a choice: to volunteer in the community in place of writing what I thought at the time another hardcore paper. I came to CMC as an 18-year-old from India. I didn't know America very well. And so to begin with, I was lonely and a little bit, or maybe a lot, homesick. Volunteering in the community took me out of myself. It provided me with purpose. And I still find that wherever I go, it doesn't really feel like home unless I'm involved in the community in some way. Whether that's spending time with young people at a local school or having a cup of tea with a veteran. Without it, I feel ungrounded. So yes, chase the grades, get that internship, bolster the resume. But in that process, keep engaging your heart as well as your mind. Because in serving your community, I guarantee it will serve you even better. To close, and before I hand back to Rishi, the rounded education you have had here has given you the very best grounding as you head out into the world. My message to you is to nurture that, especially during those non-resume moments, when balance, introspection, and community may not be the first words that come to mind. Professor Smith taught me that within all of us lies a deeper wisdom that we can all harness, if only we can think carefully and feel honestly. That is how we make better decisions in our lives. So yes, be ambitious for your careers, of course you must. Throw your everything into it. But in that same breath, be ambitious about becoming fully yourself too. Because all leaders are individuals first. And all individuals are a permanent work in progress. And therein lies the joy and the potential of a good life. Thank you. And now back to you, Rishi.
Balance, introspection, community. Those aren't the three words I would have picked as a 21-year-old Oxford PPE graduate, or the words I would have picked as a young Goldman Sachs banker, or a thrusting hedge fund partner, or even as a newly appointed minister climbing the greasy pole of British politics. But they are the words that I would pick now, and not just because I'm married to Akshata. My professional experience, my life, my time in Downing Street have taught me their value. Balance. Early in my career, I sprinted for success, trying to move to the next stage as quickly as possible. When I saw the next rung on the ladder, I jumped for it. And it worked, in a way. I had financial security by the time I was 30, thanks to a successful career in finance. And this was important to me because I had resolved that I would only embark on a career in public service once I had that security and independence. In politics, I kept up the pace. I was the youngest prime minister in 200 years. But that focus on speed meant that I could be thrown off balance when things went wrong. I was the lute string tuned too tight. As prime minister, I encountered problems that couldn't be solved by simply working harder, or even harder and smarter. And this was a challenge to me, to my way of seeing the world. And the danger is, in these circumstances, you can fall prey to that least productive emotion of all, self-pity. But sometimes seeing what others are dealing with can help you regain balance. Just as I was dealing with this reality, President Zelensky came to the UK for a visit. It was his first trip outside Ukraine since the invasion. We spent a lot of time together. Listening to him talk about his challenges put my own in perspective. I was fighting for my and my colleagues' political survival. He was fighting for his nation's existence. I realized that however hard the job I was doing, I was not having to do it with my country under attack. However tough my day had been, I could go upstairs every night and see Akshata and tuck the kids in. Vladmir's family were in hiding, trying to avoid Russian assassination squads. The stakes were high for me, but they were not existential for my country. And that realization, that balance, loosened the lute string and made me better at the job. Introspection. Now, finance guys aren't renowned for introspection, and I certainly didn't spend a lot of time in my 20s and 30s getting to know myself, but being Prime Minister forces you to confront what you truly value. What are the most important things for your country and your society? When I got the job, the most immediate, straightforward task was to stabilize our economy. And we achieved that. And however much some of the decisions I had to make hurt me politically, it was the right thing to do. But once that was accomplished, I had to confront that question. What did I want to devote my time to? What did I believe was worth risking the most important job in the land for? I decided that one of the things that I would make a priority was Northern Ireland. Now, you will have heard of the Good Friday Agreement. Signed in 1998, this agreement helped bring peace and stability to Northern Ireland after 30 years of sectarian violence between Catholics and Protestants, in which more than 3,500 people had died. One of the Good Friday Agreement's great achievements had been to establish a devolved government for Northern Ireland that uniquely allowed for the unionist and nationalist parties to share power and govern for the whole community. But when I became Prime Minister, that power-sharing arrangement had broken down, and Northern Ireland had no functioning government. Now, almost everyone told me that fixing this was not the right political priority. It's impossible, they said. Don't reopen those old, painful debates. And there were certainly no votes in it. My party didn't have any members of Parliament in Northern Ireland. So why did I act? Because as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, it was not acceptable to me that there was part of the country that I led that did not have a functioning government to represent them. At university, my roommate had been from a town called Omagh, a town which had seen the worst terrorist incident of the years of violence, and I simply wasn't prepared to let Northern Ireland slip back into the dark chapters of the past. I'm pleased to say that we succeeded in getting the government back up and running, where it continues today, serving the people of Northern Ireland. Community is probably the one of Akshata's 3 words that I would have picked even at 21. Why? Because I had seen what my parents meant to their community. I'm the son of a family doctor and a pharmacist. On the weekends and in the holidays growing up, I used to go round on my bike delivering prescriptions. Everywhere I went, people would tell me what my parents had done for them. It was a humbling and moving experience, and made me think that I wanted to serve my community like that when I was older. And a desire to have that type of impact was what ultimately drove me to get involved in politics. Now, in the UK, we have a different political system to you, something we disagreed about 250 years ago. And cabinet members also serve in the legislature. Now, this frequently created some odd moments at the end of G7 summits when we'd be discussing geopolitics for a few days. President Biden would ask me what I was off to do next, and to his great surprise, I would tell him that I had to go back to a village in my constituency to resolve an issue with the local allotments there. It felt like going from the Houthis to the hydrangeas in just one day. Despite having done big jobs, I still get huge satisfaction from solving the problems that people come to my constituency town halls with. Politics is about addressing the great challenges of our age, but it is also about making people's everyday lives just a little bit better. When I was a relatively new member of Parliament, families with severely disabled children came to see me. They talked to me about how limited they were and where they could take their families on a day out because so few places had appropriate bathrooms which their children could use safely. When I later became a minister, I was able to provide funding for more of these accessible restrooms, and then later made it mandatory for all new large buildings to have them. That relatively small change, which I only knew to ask for because of what I had learned in my community meetings, has made a massive difference to the lives of these families, and is one of the things that I am most proud of. In conclusion, one final reflection. After 15 years of being a dad, I know enough that as a parent, you don't get to pick your daughter's shoes, let alone their college. But I would love our daughters to think about CMC. So I'll do some subtle things. Leave the prospectus lying around. Suggest that we watch Dead Poets Society. Just casually drop in that Robin Williams went here. And then put Claremont on their weather app. Claremont, I discovered, has 31 days of rain a year. In London, we call that January. But if our daughters really want to know why they should think about this college, then they should just look at their mother and how she lives their life. As you have seen today, she shows what a Claremont education gives you, the values that it teaches you, how it makes you a balanced, responsible member of the community who knows themselves and cares for others. Her first thought upon us leaving Downing Street was that we should set up a numeracy-focused nonprofit focused on social mobility, the Richmond Project. I'm proud to say that the Richmond Project is up and running, and thanks to Akshata, already helping families across the UK make better financial decisions. Class of 2026, you graduate into a world in flux. I can tell you that this is both the most dangerous and the most transformational moment in my lifetime. I know that you will do what you can to tip the balance in favor of humanity at this moment.
From Rishi and me, thank you for having us today. One last thing. Go and put Professor Smith's theories into practice. Live a good life. And make this, our CMC community, proud. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for those inspiring remarks. It is now my pleasure to confer 2 honorary degrees today, pursuant to the resolutions adopted by the Board of Trustees and approved by the faculty. Please refer to your program for the full text of the resolutions. Chair of the Board, Ken Vallick, class of 1982, Professor Paul Hurley, the Edward J. Sexton Professor of Philosophy, and Trustee Akshata Murty, class of 2002, would you please join me at the podium for the first presentation? Akshata. In recognition of your many contributions and achievements as a global leader in education, philanthropy, and business, Claremont McKenna hereby confers upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto, in token of which we cause you to be vested with the hood of the college appropriate to your degree and present you with this citation and accompanying diploma. It is now my pleasure to confer a second honorary degree pursuant to the resolutions adopted by the Board of Trustees and approved by the faculty. Trustee Laura Grigliano, class of 1986, and the Right Honorable Rishi Sunak, would you please join me at the podium for the second presentation? Rishi Sunak, in recognition of your many contributions and achievements as a global leader in government, education, and philanthropy, Claremont McKenna College hereby confers upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto, in token of which we cause you to be vested with the hood of the college appropriate to your degree and present you with this citation and accompanying diploma. We have now reached the part of the program that everyone has been waiting for, the conferring of degrees. But before I invite President Chodosh to join me at the podium, I'd like to recognize our scholar athletes who are unable to join us today because of their NCAA championship contests. For CMS baseball, Blaze Hair. Aaron Hurst. Cody Perry. Dominic Rolla. Brian Smolodin. For CMS Women's Tennis, Lindsay Eisenman. Please join me in a round of applause to celebrate our amazing scholar athletes who are unable to join us in celebration today. I would now like to invite President Chodosh to join me at the podium. I ask all candidates for both the master's degree and the bachelor's degree, please rise. Mr. President, I now have the honor to present the candidates here today, together with others, for the degree of Master's of Arts in Finance and the degree of Bachelor of Arts as appropriate, as recommended by the faculty, and as approved by the Board of Trustees.
Yes, you can all stand. Yeah, excellent. By the authority vested in me as president of Claremont McKenna College, I now confer upon you the degree of Master of Arts in Finance and the degree of Bachelor of Arts as appropriate, as recommended by the faculty and as approved by the Board of Trustees. Will all graduates now please move your tassels from left to right with your right hand and be seated.
It is now my honor to recognize the graduates receiving a degree of Master of Arts in Finance and the graduates receiving the combined degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Masters of Arts. MA and BA/MA graduates, please come forward as your name is read to receive your diplomas.
Trung Guoc Nguyen. Rakshan Riaz Adamji. Rohan Bajwani. Vishnu Sriram Dandi. James Milton Fry. Crystal Ma. Tendai Mike Nyamuronda. Ethan Rogeson. Anushka Shah. Maram Sharif. Abigail Ella Stevens. Richard Michael Sweeney III. Sophia Catherine Weinstein.
Welcome your applause for the MA and BA/MA class of 2026. It is now my honor to recognize the graduates receiving a degree of Bachelor of Arts. Graduates, please come forward as your names are read to receive your diplomas.
Tristan Tate. Sophie Abrams. Muhammad Ali Abubakar. Hannah Brooke Adams. Lincoln Shabtai Aftergood. Saif Aldin Ayad Kamal Aga. Ian Akers. Josephine Shalayan Albrecht. Anjal Aldanmas. Seja Ali. Nicholas Casper Aliaga. Diana Alamjan. Francesco Argueta. Sarah Nushin Arjamand. Georgia Arnold. Camila Arzate. Josephine Violet Aspromonte. Matthew Clark Avid. Jordan Sylvia Elizabeth Mame Anyama Bafor. Elizabeth Berry. Eliza Sylvia Baxter. Hayden Cruz Boscheman. John Hudson Begley. Hale Benjamin Behan. Sydney Reese Behrens. Anna Ying Bahuniak. Celine Bernhardt Lanier. Ria Basine. Catherine Casey Bott. Carson Taylor Bloom. Peter Mitchell Bohm. Charles Hurt Bulwark. Hanson Liam Bouchard. Miles Felix Brody. Oliver Yo Broger. Sadie Elizabeth Brown. Samson McLaughlin Brown. Johannan Lindale Brown III. Daniela Brun Matar. Fallon Buckner. Henry Ryan Burke. Josephine Chandani Beestrom. Sanyong Bayan. Charles Joseph Kayati. Arturo Caldera. Riley Ann Capuano. Luke Carfaro. Quinton Everett Carney. Sofia Lorena Castellanos. Yahari Castillon. Tanvir Singh Chaba. Nicholas Chengbencharon. Ethan Chen. Ethan Chen. Natalie Keiko Chen. Yuni Chang. Ella Nicole Chu. Jisoo Choi. Melanie Chombo. Renee Hayun Chong. Christopher J. Chung. Chase Joseph Seo. Cole Barge Clark. Grace Elizabeth Clark. Charles Duckstad Coluccio. Cahal Thomas Connolly. Hannah Joan Conti. Jada Isabella Cook. Richard Bennett Cordero. Dylan Michael Cotti. James Colors. Let's go, James! Aiden Craig Cushing. Jasper Data. Donovan Cole Davidson. Avi Dayani. Evan Grant Deedy. Isabella Sofia Del Villar. Ellis Redfield Del Vecchio. David Dang. Sachi Dang. Abigail Whiteley Dercole. Nathan Salman Danani. Taya Alicia Diaz. Zero Emma Ding. Jesse Isaac Dong. Jasmine Ray Duncan. Davis Connor Eglin. Mackenzie Kristen Emmons. Elijah Emery Muhammad. Isabella Spring Esty. Luke Robert Fabing. Iushu Fan. Jack Charles Farber. Doris Shinyi Fang. Gila Isabella Ferdoz. Cesar Adrian Fernandez. Daniel Fernandez. Melina Renata Ferry. Luke Mark Von Ferris. Zoe Olivia Foyer. Jennifer Leslie Florencio. Asher Fry. Ryan Cannell Gagan. Desiree J. Galumgum. Catherine Maria Galindo. Abhinav Ganesh. Gabriel Joshua Ganji Sarokaniaf. Brian Uriel Garcia. Evelyn Garcia. Nyasa Garg. Francis Pentlarge Gehring IV. Ryan Gertminian. William Charles Graff. Rowan Alexander Gray. Eva Marie Gregory. Hadley Griffin Schmidt. Adam Alexander Guggenheim. Meher Gupta. Shreya Gupta. Elizabeth Louise Gutierrez. Kylie Ha. Takedo Hayashi. Catherine Heron Hio. Stephanie Hernandez. Daniel Hirose. Shelby Honda. Kenneth Ho. Michael Benjamin Hauk. Malaye Lalo Hauser. Kate Elizabeth Ha. Carol Kahiao Hutchison. Tom Yukio Inoue. Rohit Ramnath Iyer. Matthew Jabro. Kiara Jacob. Luke Hunter Jacobson. Lucy Caroline Jaffe. Tanzila Jamal. Arlo Mackenzie J. Alexander Jolstead Johnson. Annika Elizabeth Johnson. Samuel Nathan Johnson Sager. Ryder Dwelly Jones. Yuji Easton Jones. Aryan Kyla. Enya Kamadoli. Parishi Kanuga. Armina Kardashian. Athena Kuh. Mia Kelly. Mehereen Shireen Khan. Jian Kim. Caitlin Kong. Ria Kulkarni. Ankit Kumar. Sanskriti Kumar. Yui Kurosawa. John Laidlaw. Andrew Lau. Louis Edward Lehman. Esther Gina Lee. Timothy Chinu Lee. Kaya Lee Guest. Madeline Claire Levy. Stacy Leva. Jason Jingsung Leong. Ethan Andrew Lagon. Jaden Brody Lind. Catherine Liu. Mingyu Liu. Maya Kimberly Loper. Sarah Emily Loper. Melissa Louise. Aryan Magan. Gus Mahler. Sean Hunter Malik. Jason Christman Malley. Kevin Marine. Winnie Mauto. Hannah Louise Maycock. Mackenzie Mayfield. Malia Ryan McCall. Chad Becker McElroy. Shelby Lynn McElroy. Brooke Raylyn McKee. Lucy Mesa. Isabella Donna Milano. Jenna Adrian Milbrote. Calvin Garrett Miller. Grace Starkweather Minturn. Adil Abdirasak Mohammed. Mateen Mokhtarani. Carrick Gray Mollenkamp Jr. Claire Helen Moore. Reena Rashmi Mukherjee. Lachicia Moorer. Zainamine Murtaza. Ryunosuke Manaokalani Nakase. Madeline Foster Nesbitt. Paloma Oliveri. Henry Philip Ott. Antonis Demetrios Papas. Enzo Antonino Pardo. Annie Wallace Perizzo. Joshua Park. Nico Perenboom. Daniel Pinalosa. Alexandra Mabel Perez Blaites. Tamoy Brianna Madison Pitt. Sophia Claire Podeswa. Silvana Sikwan Poon. Juan Pozo. Tianin Singh. Alejandro Quiroz Novella. Pallavi Raju. Roman Alberto Ramirez. Anaí Ramos Silva. James Austin Charles Raymond II. Ava Louise Reichman. Jack Maillard Rende. Catherine Resendez. Daniela Reyes. Valerie Reyes. Mia Chinsun Ree. Andrew Rizko. Chloe Sarah Ross. Allison Eloise Rudolph. Alyssa Kaylani Ruiz. Jonathan Thomas Russell. James Ryan. Aliza Saeed. Aliyah Salik Zionov. Chamnan Jim Sangsvang. Ariel Santiago. Sergio Santillon Leal. Rachel Ann Saperstein. Dhruv Saraf. Ethan Cole Satley. Catherine Elizabeth Schwab. Minat Sethi. Evan James Sevely. Jonav Shah. Ryan Shakiba. Annika Sharma. Om Sharma. Jackson Sharp. Jordan Tyler Sherman Ratliff. Nora Shipley. Alia Shivdasani. Jessica Renee Sloan Cooper. Scott Robert Sloop. Jacob Smagula. Nicholas Smole. Jacqueline Rose Solomon. Mason Evelyn Spencer. Zoe Spinelli Schellenberg. Clancy Steens. Natalie Stearns. Nilaja Sultan. Ichi Sun. Rachel Paige Supnick. Blake Wells Sutner. Rachel Elizabeth Svoisky. Mervins Silvestri. Dijon Cipher. David Edward Taylor. Jake Thomas Taylor. Nathaniel Robert Teresi. Kylie Madison Tevis. Rutvij Jayesh Thakar. Ava Lynn Thuresson. Kiefer Shannon Turling. Luke Vincent Torrey. Elijah Jamil Tuzuku. Sophia Alexandra Tunjer. Amelia Caroline Faye Rathbone Ulmer. Alexandra Isioma Umebo. Lucas Adrian Utch. Chloe Velkin. Bettina Vargas Franca Pasos. Shreya Valichala. Daniel Viraore. Pratik Deepak Vyas. Thomas Joseph Walker. Celine X. Wong. Yilin Wong. Wonder Wong Idan. Kathy Yushwin Wong. Kimani Mia Washington. Donald Luke Weigel. Kevin Daniel White, Jr. Nicholas Wild. Joey Wilson. Sophie Wolters. Alyssa Kaylee Wong. Laurence Jet Wong. Benjamin Warnow. Catherine Elizabeth Worster. Daisy Seongi Ye. Hudson William Yend. Jamie Yu. Iyu Rehan. Andrew Tyler Yuan. April Jong. Ethan James Jong. Diana Jean Zhou. Harry Joe. Joshua Cho. Riley Ann Zitter.
We're almost there. In a moment, I will ask Board Chair Ken Valek to share a few brief words before President Chodosh's final charge, at which time, not yet, feel free to toss your hats in celebration with one another. But first, I want to offer my deepest appreciation to our students. Today, on the completion of this part of your college journey, and after all the hard work and experiences that have resulted in you being here today, I consider it a true privilege to be the first to address you all as graduates. Let's please all give a warm applause again for the class of 2026. I'd like to invite to the podium Board Chair Ken Valek.
Congratulations, graduates and your families. Just have a few words to say here. And also first, Akshata and Rishi, that was fabulous. Thank you so much. And for those who know them, there's wonderful people in person as they come across, as they speak to. We're very lucky to have them both involved with the college. But this is a time of transition. We also have 3 other graduates of sorts that we want to recognize. So President Chodosh, Priya, and our special guest, would you please come up here? Yeah, it's Theo. Okay, after we have to recognize, after 13 incredible years under President Hiram Chodosh's leadership, with Priya by his side, running the Athenaeum, doing so much for all of you, we have to recognize both of them after 13 incredible years. And along with them, our super senior, it took Theo 8 years, but Theo, you're finally graduating. And so we have, and so what we gave to Theo, we found out that technically you probably can't give a dog a degree, but we have the Community Impact Award presented to Theo, the heart of the campus. And the senior class has also given Theo his own supersized tennis ball. Let's all stand and thank President Chodosh, Priya, and Theo. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to President Chodosh.
Thank you so much. I think that's the first bachelor's in canine letters. I also want to just say a quick word about Priya, and I think you know this, that nothing I do is not inspired, guided, and championed by her. Let's give her another round of applause. To me, it's a miracle for Priya, the granddaughter of a prematurely widowed single mom who raised 11 kids on her own, including 7 girls in rural India. and me, the grandson of refugees from political violence in Eastern Europe, if Priya and I can make it to this stage, we cannot even imagine the heights to which our graduates will lead us all. You have unleashed the underdog in us. And I think Theo must be the luckiest dog on earth to have experienced the love that you've poured into him and that he's given back. Priya has literally unleashed him on the campus, and you have done something special for us. So I'd like to ask the class of 2026 now to stand for my charge. That's right, you can give them a round of applause. These directives tell you what you already know, a mirror that reflects back what we have all learned from you, a final light on the path you've already carved. So here's your charge. Find the quiet courage, hug the struggles in others, pull back to catapult forward, liberate the leadership around you, listen to what no one can hear, feel what no one can sense, answer the clank of the post with the swish in the back of the net. Gather the gift of fall leaves, ask Rachel's 5th question, practice Tanzila's beautiful patience, bring our families home together. Love the problem. Find its weakest heel. Gather your tools. Slay the challenge. Do not declare victory. Goliaths always await us. Run not to where they are headed. Run to where you want them to go. Do not beat your chest. Turn to those around you. Give them your slingshot. Teach them how to aim. Thank those who coached you to race. Honor those who taught you to learn. Share the lessons that guide your next strides. Take CMC wherever you go. Create Green Beach in your nearby park, but just don't violate the local laws. Spin the hub into your local cafe. Realize the professor in your new boss. Find care and the ath in every ear, in every mouth. Craft your unwritten play. Trust your intuition. Polish your wisdom. Sharpen your judgment. Unleash the underdog in you, in everyone you meet, in all of us too. Never give up on your leadership. Never give up on one another. Never give up on our world. Never give up on our shared future. We love you for who you are. We are moved by who you have become. Never give up on us. We will never give up on you. Congratulations to the class of 2026. Cheers to you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your enthusiastic participation in Claremont McKenna College's 78th commencement exercises. Please stand and remain at your seats while the graduates recess. At the conclusion of the recessional, you are invited to join President Hiram Chodosh and Priya Junar for a reception on Perrinan's Field as we celebrate the class of 2026. Thank you.